All right, we'll go freshman of the year next. Freshman of the year. I'll start this one. I'm going. It's not easy. Okay, Paulo Banchero's had a hell of a year. I'm going Jabari Smith from Auburn over Banchero. I just feel like he's made a huge impact on his team. He's out there every minute. Paulo's had his issues with cramping up and not playing full games. He's been terrific too, but Jabari Smith to me is my freshman of the year.
Yeah, I'll jump in there next. And I had two down, and I figured you guys would say, Paulo, and so I had down, Jabari Smith. I was actually in Murray yesterday, and I bumped into Matt McMahon, and they just played Auburn. And I said, man, how good is Auburn? And he said, man, they're good. He goes, let me tell you, Jabari Smith. And he went on for a little bit. And so then I went and kind of punched the numbers and looked, and, so I had Jabari Smith down as well.
Let's make it a threesome. I had Jabari. I think he's the other guys. I mean, it was a three-man race all along. I mean, between Chet and Paulo and Jabari. I think the other two have better surrounding cast of players around him that they can rely on a bit. I think he is. I knew he was good. I didn't know he was this good. I mean, he's scoring it on all three levels, shooting it over 40, nearly 45 from three. I mean, I think he's been the top freshman.
Yeah. All right. We'll do our All-American teams next and then pick our player of the year. Add a little bit of intrigue here. All right. I'll start with one, and you guys tell me if you don't have him on your All-American teams. How's that? And we'll kind of go around the room here. We'll alternate. To me, this is the guy that if you don't have him on your All-American team, I might leave right now. E.J. Liddell from Ohio State. I think he's got to be on it. He has made an incredible impact for Ohio State. They beat Duke. They're in the top 20, and they're doing it really without a point guard. And E.J. Liddell offensively has been terrific, but the biggest difference in his game from last year to this year has come in the defensive end. He can guard multiple positions. He's blocking like 3 shots a game. I mean, like he's done everything.
Yeah, he can change shots at the rim as well. It's kind of like you said off air. I've probably got 8 or 9 down, and I've got heavy front court guys.
Yeah,
kind of big wings, 4s and 5s, than I do just point guard. But I kind of do it by position. Am I up next to throw my guy out there? Is that
go ahead?
Are you
go ahead? Sure.
Ochai Agbaji.
Yeah,
Ochai.
Got to be on it.
Yeah,
got to be on
there. Yep. I love him. I just think what he's been able to do. And the funny thing is they're redshirting him his freshman year. And about halfway through the year, Coach Sells like, hey, we probably need this guy. And then it's like, this guy's a lot better than we all thought. And now he's probably put himself by coming back to school, in a position to be a first-round pick. His efficiency and ability to shoot and size and competitiveness and toughness and winning traits, he's been phenomenal for them.
All right. So hold on. Let's regroup here. Randolph, did both you guys had E.J. Liddell? Yes.
Yeah, I did.
I had
Ochai. I had Ochai on there as well.
Ochai.
Yep. All right. So you're up now. We agree.
Right. I'm throwing the monkey wrench in here. I'm going with Wendell Moore from Duke. I think Paulo's been maybe the most hyped player. I think Wendell Moore, and I've been saying to Jeff, this already. I think he's been their best player. I think he's been their most consistent player. I think he's the guy that they go to. I think he's the leader of the team. I mean, he's 17, 5, and 5 for those guys, shooting it at 58% from the floor. I think Wendell Moore is definitely a first-team All-American.
Steve?
I didn't have him, and now I'm mad at myself I didn't have him down because, I probably, you just think Duke right away. You're going through it. But I think this guy's got to be on it from this going forward outside of Wendell Moore is Big Kofi at Illinois. I just think with the loss of Curbelo right now, other guys have really had to step up. And when you have such a dominant post presence that can do it on both ends of the floor, scoring, dribble handoffs, protecting the rim, rebounding the basketball, it makes everybody's better. It makes your guards better. It makes the game easier for everybody when you have that rim protection, and then you have somebody that can be a presence in the paint. And so, especially in Illinois is playing great right now. I mean, they're really coming on right now. Since they left Kansas City, they've been terrific. Yeah. And so I've got Kofi down there.
So I have Wendell on there. I do not have Kofi, and Illinois fans are going to kill me for this because Illinois fans are out of their minds. And I get it. Like you said, there's 7, 8, maybe 9 guys that I think you can put in the equation here. Kofi for me was number 6. All right. So I got Liddell, I got Ochai, I got Wendell Moore. I'm going to throw Johnny Davis on there because I think Wisconsin isn't very good without Johnny Davis. I think you take him off Wisconsin and they're an NIT team, if that. They might not even be an NIT team. He's been that valuable to that team. I think you got to have him on the list this year at this point. Now we'll see if he continues, and it really, to me, depends on if they continue. But they're a top, for me, 15 team in the country right now, and it's almost all because of Johnny Davis.
Yeah, I didn't have Johnny down, but him and Wendell Moore, that would complete my 10 if I finished that out. Did you have him, Randolph?
Randolph didn't have him either, right?
I didn't have him in my 5, but I had him in my 8 to 9 guys. Yeah. He's in the group. I'm a big fan of his.
I think it's tough.
And honestly, he's right there. The question I have is where are they going to finish? And I think more so of, will he get the attention because of where they're going to finish? Is he worthy? Absolutely. I just wonder if where they're going to finish will affect.
But for me, it's where they are now. For me,
absolutely.
It's not.
No, I agree. You know? He deserved it. Very much so. Very much so.
All right. So who do we have on that we haven't mentioned so far, Randolph? Who do you got?
I still got a couple of more guys. I'm gonna. I'll say this. I'm gonna go with Drew Timme, and I'll say this. I think he's the one guy. If you take off that team, I think they're not the same. I think with Chet, he just adds the extra dimension to them that puts them over the top. But I just think Drew has been solid enough that if you take him off that team, he's still averaging over 17 a game, 6 rebounds a game. I think he's shown up in the big games that they had so far this year. I mean, it's tougher sometimes. Teams are doubling those guys inside, and the guards are going to get off against lesser opponents. But when it's mattered, he's been there. And they're not a national championship Final Four caliber team without him.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, I think he's in your top 10. To me, he's in the back half of it at this point. But he's there. All right, who else? Again, mine is EJ, Ochai, Wendell Moore, Johnny Davis, Jabari Smith. Yeah. That's my 5. 6 for me was Kofi. 7 for me, Oscar Tshiebwe.
Yeah, I had Oscar in my top 8 right here. You know, Moore and Johnny Davis, I'd throw them in there as a top 10 in my group now that you guys threw them out there. I kind of did it by, hey, point guard, get wings, guard wings, and then
good luck finding a point guard. Good luck.
Exactly. That was the toughest spot to find. Yep. But if you're number 1 in the country and Rob Dowster, if he's watching, which I'm sure he is, James Akinjo should be there. I mean, he's the point guard of the best team in the country right now today. And his numbers are terrific. It's not 20 points or, it's double figure scoring, good assist to turnover ratio, and his team wins, and he is fit in, and he has done what Scott Drew and that staff wants him to do. And so my group was Akinjo, Ivy, Agbaji, Liddell, and Kofi. And then I had Timme, Jabari, Oscar, kind of floating around there 6, 7, 8.
I got to throw this out there because I'm the only one that seems like to have this in this list. We all got the same group. The only name that I added or group that I had it split. I think that's why James didn't get it, because Baylor, I think it split. You split the votes when you start looking at their team with CJ, all those guys. Was Purdue looking at Williams and Ivy? Like if you look at what those guys
do. Yeah.
Say again?
I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do with it. That's what I'm saying. I didn't know how to kind of vote. I literally put them as like one person. It's like I want to combine them. It's like I want to combine them and say they're one. and they'll cost each other votes to get the award because they're invaluable to the team. But at the rate they're going, and they are a legitimate Final Four national championship team. And I think those two guys are right there. And Williams coming off the bench, his unselfishness to come off the bench. But when it matters, he's there. He's going to play. If you were to prorate his numbers over 40 minutes, my goodness, he would be player of the year.
Yeah.
And Jaden Ivey has been, I mean, I just think they're like one. They're going to split votes. I put them in as one, but it's two players. Those are the only other ones we hadn't mentioned yet. Everyone else we mentioned, but that would be the only group or tandem I'd put in.
Yeah, there's a terrific group of those, skill forwards, big forwards, small ball fives, back 5 man, whatever you want to call it. But we're not talking about a ton of guards right here. We're talking about big wings, and we're talking about forwards and slash, centers, Oscar Tshiebwe and guys like that.
And this is why, guys, I feel like the point guard position is going to mean more this year than ever.
Yes.
Because there aren't a lot of great ones.
No.
A lot of teams have really questionable point guard situations. And listen, people get tired of probably hearing me talk about on every show. I say it, like, I'm starting with a point guard. And if you don't have a really good one, you can't win 6 straight games. You can't win it. And I'm not even sure you can get there. Now, this year might be a little bit different because it's hard to find really good point guards on a lot of teams right now. I think you're going to see some guys emerge in conference play and really kind of separate themselves or elevate themselves from something that we weren't sure they like. Wendell Moore has been a really good point guard for Duke. We didn't think we'd say that, right? I thought it was going to be Jeremy Roach that everything was going to be dependent on, and it's not, because Moore has stepped forward and kind of taken that role, and that's why I think Duke has a chance to now win it all. Paolo, I knew was Paolo. We weren't worried about him. We were worried about Jeremy Roach in the point guard play, and that is no longer an issue because Wendell Moore has stepped forward.
Yeah, I think point guard play is critical, but I think point guard play, sometimes people, misconstrue it as I'm the guy who's dribbling the ball up the floor sometimes and calling 2-2-2. Right. I think point guard play is instincts, is skill. Can you make people better? You know what I mean? Can you take from the bench to the floor and lead your group, assist to turnover ratio, making people better? I think that's what really goes into point guard play. And that's why you see a guy like Wendell Moore kind of developing into that role, to where we may have not saw him as a traditional, hey, I'm going to walk it up and call 3. No, I'm going to make decisions. He leads Duke teams in assists, I believe.
Yes.
He's got a great assist to turnover ratio. He can make plays. He makes people better, and he makes winning plays. And we were just talking, that's going to be a great show. Kinjo, Hunter, those will be terrific 2 guards going at each other, this weekend in that game we touched on, Iowa State Baylor.